Good afternoon or morning, everybody, and welcome back to another weather forecast here by Avery's Weather Forecast. And this is going to be another severe weather update here, except this is day 2 of the major strong bands, and this is going to be a threat throughout the Mississippi Valley and Ohio Valley, and possibly moving into the southeast later tonight. We are possibly seeing a very good chance for tornadoes, unlike yesterday. We still have an enhanced risk. It actually got updated earlier today. We actually had a slight chance earlier, but now we have up to a level 3 out of 5. So definitely a big threat for severe weather. We have millions to get impacted. Tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds is actually a very big threat as well today. Yesterday we didn't have very strong winds, but we're going to be possibly seeing 65 plus knots in some areas out here into the Ohio Valley and Mississippi Valley, possibly cutting out power for maybe a couple of minutes, if not hours. So definitely something we're gonna be need to focus on, keep an eye on throughout all of today. If it's really bad, I'll possibly have another update like I did have yesterday. And yeah, just definitely another severe weather day here. Be sure to subscribe, guys. We are very close to 2,085 subscribers. Let's try to get that by the end of today. I know we can do it. Please subscribe and share the channel. I do daily weather forecasts on multiple topics to keep you and family safe. So without further ado, let's get into this video. So we have new updates on the National Weather Service. This just updated 2 minutes ago. We have severe thunderstorm warnings and watches in effect throughout counties in far northern Kentucky, far western Virginia, and southern West Virginia. We also do have severe thunderstorm warnings out here for Mississippi as well. We have a severe weather threat through all of these areas today. So also having the wind threat stretching all the way up to Long Island. So really a lot of people are going to be feeling the winds of this, and that's going to be a big ingredient in seeing the severe weather out here. And I bet you the wind threat's very high today. So in the main counties, we do have severe thunderstorm warnings in this brownish red color mixed together. That's going to be for, again, we have Lexington, I believe. So Lexington's under these severe thunderstorm watches. No, actually, just north of Lexington and Frankfort. And then we also have severe thunderstorm warnings out here for northern Kentucky in those orange counties. That's where we have severe thunderstorm warnings. That's where we'll possibly have the worst of these cells in these bands. And that's going to be stretching all the way to western Virginia, just outside the Appalachians, for including the Roanoke area, also Bluefield, and also including Lewisburg and Beckley. And just a couple miles west near Charleston, that's where we have severe flash flood warnings in effect. So that's where we have all this rain, since Charleston's just surrounded by mountains. All this rain will be heading down towards Charleston. And then we also have severe weather statements south of Charleston. We have West Liberty, Pikeville, Moorhead, and Maysville, Kentucky, all under winter storm watches. So let's actually take a look at these little bands right here. So this is actually what we're seeing right now throughout the Ohio Valley. So look at these very strong bands throughout northern Kentucky right here. Very strong bands again southeast of Charleston, out there near Beckley. We'll start seeing this really heavy rain and very strong bands moving towards the areas right there. And again, also seeing where we have this severe thunderstorm warnings north of Lexington. That's where possibly has some discrete cells, not defined, but right here south of Maysville and north of Moorhead, we are seeing quite a lot of action out here. And looks like quite a bit of energy in this band, and that could possibly cause maybe really a lot of wind and possibly some large hail. And it doesn't look like this will cause a tornado, but again, that's not out of the books as of right now. That's what we're looking at for Kentucky and the West Virginia area. Let's actually take a quick look now into Virginia, see what we have moving in. Okay, so again, we have that band right here near Bluefield. We have some system developing right there. It's actually very, very small, but quite a powerful system. Looks like we don't have multiple cells in that. It looks very weak. Still bringing in very heavy rain, but we have this very strong band that's going to be moving towards Beckley, Bluefield, Roanoke, and all the way up to the Lexington, Virginia area. That's where possibly have these bands moving within the next 30 minutes. So I guess we can say we have the severe thunderstorm warnings actually issued quite, or severe thunderstorm watches issued ahead of the worst right now. So actually check out the satellite. We can actually see the clouds. Let's check out the CO color right here. So yeah, you can see this the bands right here. This is where we have again the band. That first band north into northern Kentucky. And again, I'm starting to see a lot of cloud cover because of this. So definitely start seeing. This is where we have the big, kind of the worst of it, right here in Wisconsin and Madison, Wisconsin, Iowa, and Illinois. That's where we'll possibly see the beginning of this really strong severe weather. This is just the beginning and not the main band. So let's check out day one. And here's updated. So again, we have a lot to talk about right here. So again, up to an enhanced risk, and we have a lot of people and a lot of states in general in this risk. We have Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, Virginia, Kentucky, the tip of North Carolina, the tip of Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Missouri, the tip of Iowa, and also including Arkansas. So a lot of states. Looks like the worst of it though will be for Tennessee, Illinois, Indiana, and Kentucky. Let's start off with the marginal, which is dark green. That's a level 1. So you're still at a very low risk for severe weather. So it's not rare to have very strong rain and all that. You're definitely be seeing some really strong bands, but very small, not going to bring in large hail, or not. It's not as big of a potential to bring tornadoes. Doesn't mean you're not going to get hail or tornadoes. It's just a lower. So that's why you're in a marginal. And also it means you're probably just going to be seeing less of the bands. If you're going to see a lot of bands, you're going to be seeing the really the not the worst of it. So we have 29 million people under the marginal risk. That's Charlotte, North Carolina, Washington D.C., Virginia Beach, Norfolk, and other areas in Virginia. And then we also again have Alexandria. We also have Savannah, Georgia, Augusta, just outside, not far from Wilmington, and even not near Aurora. But the slight chance, we have a lot more people, as you can tell. That's the yellow color. That's level 2. So you're getting closer to the worst of severe weather. There's a bit of a bigger threat for large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes. I'm actually under the slight chance. I'm not really too worried. I can be seeing some very strong bands though later tonight, very late tonight, into early tomorrow morning. Hopefully, I can possibly get some coverage of that and post it on here since I can't live stream. 32 million people under the slight chance. That's including a little area in San Antonio and Austin. And then we also have Atlanta, Georgia, Raleigh, Greensboro, also including Tupelo, Huntsville, Birmingham, Montgomery, Macon, Georgia, and also including out there near Waterloo and other areas not far from Dayton, Ohio. And I believe including Charleston as well is under the slight chance. And then the enhanced risk, we have 20 million people here. That's for very big cities like Indianapolis, Nashville, Memphis, St. Louis, and Cincinnati. We also have South Pittsburgh, I believe it's Polar Bluff or Poplar Bluff. We have Jonesboro once again under an enhanced risk. Hopefully, we don't have two big tornadoes like the last time, the EF3. We also have Evansville against Cincinnati right on the tip of that, and also Johnson City and Gatlinburg. And the tornado threat, let's see what we have here. Not too bad. We have a 2 to 5% chance for tornadoes. Of course, the best chance for tornadoes is including Indianapolis, Nashville, St. Louis, Louisville, and Lexington. So very big cities under that tornado risk, and we also have Jonesboro under that 5% chance. So hopefully we don't have another what we saw with Jonesboro, the Jonesboro tornadoes. Wind threat, I believe the wind threat should be a lot higher because it's going to be nasty winds, and I'm going to possibly see, I think, 35 knots, maybe even 40 knots, and I'm not even in the worst of it. I think it should be up to a 60% chance or a 45% chance of the winds because it's going to be really, really windy, and that's going to possibly knock out power and take down trees. Especially, again, you got to think about there's going to be wet soil because of the rain, so easier for trees to fall down and all that. So the 30% chance is for 19 million people. That's for Indianapolis, Memphis, Nashville, St. Louis, and Cincinnati. And then the hail threats, I think 30% chance is good enough. I'm actually under 15% chance for actually hail and actually wind threat for 15. And then again, 30% chance that's for or actually around 12 million people: Memphis, Nashville, St. Louis, Louisville, and Springfield, Illinois. Now we're gonna be looking at these little bands right here in the European model. So, like I said, like I pointed out in the satellite imagery with the cloud cover, I pointed how it's gonna start in Wisconsin, Lake Michigan, and Illinois, and that's where we're gonna start off. It's actually gonna start off bringing just being regular old heavy rain, I guess, as it does go on following with the high pressure system and the very warm air. It's gonna perfect moisture and perfect ingredients to have a severe weather outbreak. Hopefully, we don't have another Washington, Illinois 2013 tornado, the EF4. I don't think we'll necessarily have any big impacts on northern Illinois, but I think southern Illinois and western Kentucky can definitely be seeing a very big threat for tornadoes today. Again, really is just seeing this really heavy rain in Madison, Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Muskegon, but it's going to start to really become a lot more organized by later today. It's going to possibly bring in look at this beautiful not it's look at this formation though. It's actually quite organized, and that's going to bring in again very heavy rain throughout areas into south central Missouri. Very heavy bands moving towards the Indianapolis area. This band's going to be quite a big and thick band compared to the other ones. As you can tell, we kind of have a wall cloud formation right here, where like the worst of it's right in the beginning, and it has kind of like a U shape kind of formation. That's what we're seeing here. And look at this really heavy rain again for southern Illinois. I think we can definitely be seeing some tornadoes today. Evansville, you're going to be seeing very strong rain. Start seeing this rain also entering Ohio. This is going to be very late tonight and early tomorrow morning, and it's going to continue to bring very heavy rain. Kind of splits up. That's where we have that very heavy rain heading towards Arkansas, Tennessee, and also far northern Mississippi. And this is the main band that's going to be affecting areas like Louisville, Lexington, Frankfort, also including Nashville and Springfield, Tennessee. That's going to also be heading into the Appalachias, into the far southeastern Kentucky. Start seeing a very heavy rain again, turning to kind of multiple severe weather bands, and then again that's gonna be heading right for Lake Lanier, not far from my area. And then by the next 24 hours, it should be mostly over by tomorrow afternoon. And look at the GFS once again showing this becoming a monster again. Here we have the low pressure system, the very heavy rain again for Wisconsin, the coast of Michigan, and again seeing the very heavy rain also not far from Joliet. And again, see some other bands out there for the Mississippi River, not too shabby. But then we start to see this energy, and this is going to become quite a system when it comes through Springfield, Peoria, Illinois. Sorry guys, I couldn't say that name for a second. It's going to be affecting Springfield, Illinois as well. St. Louis, very strong rain heading towards Chicago later today. And then also heading towards Jefferson City, we have those bands. And then they connect later on today. Just look at these bands. These are just shouting severe weather to me and shouting major damage here. Again, seeing the very heavy rain out there, or very strong band for the border Arkansas, Missouri. Again, this is going to be heading straight for southern Illinois and Missouri. Have a very strong band going through Indianapolis. Again, just look at these bands. These are just nasty bands. Like, this is going to be a really bad outbreak. I'm just going to say it. I think we'll have multiple tornadoes in the same spots. Very heavy rain again. There's really strong bands moving towards southern Indiana. Just look at this. Paducah, Evansville, far southern Illinois, and far eastern Missouri. Guys, you guys are going to be seeing very heavy rain. And then for Louisville, Cincinnati, and then heading towards Nashville, that's where we'll have something to worry about very soon here. Again, we're going to start seeing these two bands splitting up. That's going to bring in heavy rain for Little Rock, severe weather for Memphis and northern Mississippi. And that's going to bring the severe weather. The worst of it's going to be heading towards actually Nashville and also Springfield. And just look at that. The good thing is it won't be lasting too long, but Nashville's going to get really, really wrecked by this. Lexington as well. These strong bands will somewhat connect a little bit again. And then again, that's going to bring very heavy rain again. It's actually going to strengthen after it passes Tennessee. It's going to bring severe weather stretching all the way from Charleston up to Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia. And you can kind of see this is kind of having a U-shaped system right here. Again, it's going to be really heading towards Helen, Georgia, Blue Ridge, Hiawassee really hard. Asheville, it's going to really affect areas such as areas like Atlanta, Marietta, and also Lakeland area, and then should be gone again by the next 24 hours. We're going to be looking at the winds. Again, the winds is a very big threat, and as we get later today, we're starting off with already possibly seeing 56 miles per hour winds later today developing again. For areas such as Des Moines, you guys are going to be very windy today. You guys probably let me know how windy it is. I have a couple of viewers in Iowa. We're going to be seeing 36 to 39 mile per hour winds for much of today. You can start seeing this windy conditions as well for Wisconsin, seeing the 20s and teens. As you get later in today, this is actually going to get really nasty. We can actually be possibly seeing, guys, and this is actually 10-meter wind gusts. This is not 50-meter when it's all the way up higher in the higher elevation. This is right here at land. Like this is right in the plains areas. This is what the real winds are going to be like. We're going to get close to hurricane force winds. Very, very big chance of hurricane force winds. Areas out there into northern Missouri, possibly seeing 48 to 58 mile per hour winds. And then right here, here in Illinois, that's where we see that 71 mile per hour winds plus. And that's going to die down a little bit to 68, but it's going to be becoming a lot more widespread. St. Louis is going to be seeing 50 plus mile per hour winds. Chicago seeing 34 plus mile winds. You guys can earn the name the Windy City out there near Peoria, and also including Springfield. Start getting 30 to 40 mile per hour winds. Even all the way to Muskegon, we'll possibly see 30 plus mile per hour winds. And I want to slightly get windier and look at by later tomorrow. We're going to be seeing very strong winds for just north of Memphis, 50 plus mile per hour winds, 30 plus mile per hour winds in almost all of Tennessee, out there near western Kentucky, stretching to 46 mile per hour winds. Even right behind it, we're still seeing 40s, seeing all the way close to 50 out here into Ohio. And then it's going to continue bringing very strong winds now for northern Alabama. Out there near north central Mississippi, we'll be seeing 45 mile per hour winds. And then I'll be seeing up to 40 mile per hour winds out here in northern Georgia. And that's going to bring in, once again, tropical storm force winds now for Long Island. And it's going to continue to strengthen the hurricane force winds with 80 mile per hour winds. And again, definitely going to be a very, very windy week throughout a lot of people just because of this front coming in and the jet stream. Just really strong winds though. So now you know why I'm saying the wind threat should be higher. Now we're going to be looking at the Cape values here. Again, as you saw yesterday's video, a sneak peek into today, we saw really high numbers. It's a lot of energy, 4,000 joule per kilograms in Little Rock, Tyler, all the way to Texas. We're seeing this really energy, and we only have a slight chance there. Shreveport, 3,800. We're seeing some 5,000 in north central Louisiana. By later today, when these bands do head out all the way into Kentucky and out there near Nashville, Memphis starting to get a lot of energy, 3,200 joules per kilogram. See some low 4,000s. Little Rock, 3,100. And then southern Arkansas, getting into the 4,000s. Let's get into tomorrow morning. We're possibly seeing really strong bands out here into Arkansas, seeing some 3,000s, and really not too bad for the southeast energy-wise. And it should be quite low by tomorrow. But today, we're going to be seeing a lot of energy, especially in the south central. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's try to get this video to 15 likes, because this is a really long video to 20 minutes, and it really means a lot if you guys can help me out. And bye, guys.